So my name is Julia Caseli, and this is my senior speech. It is 2026. I get out of bed and take a cold shower. I can feel the water flowing onto my body, making me think about every single moment I had to sacrifice to get to this very day. I put my best clothes on and take a good look in the mirror with a proud feeling. It is finally the day I dreamed about. I wish this day would have come sooner in all of those nights which seemed to have no end. When I was desperate at my dorm room, missing the people I love, and the only thing that could calm me down was the daydream of this day. I'm finally joining my family's business. The company started with my grandfather. He is the most visionary man I know. In 1970, he packed all he could and drove in a motorcycle to a small city in Brazil. He expected nothing except for the unknown, but he had a passion and goal in mind that would make it all worthwhile. As for myself, I decided to leave my home when I was 16. Unlike him, I brought a lot of my stuff, but I had the same fear he had. I was scared about the challenge that I would have to face. Sometimes, when I thought about giving up, I only had to ask myself why I was here, and that would put me back on track. For this, I can thank my dad for. He's a wise man who taught me everything I know. One of the most important things he imparted on me is his vision about how we should always have a purpose. He keeps telling me that our lives can be compared to a highway. You have to imagine your goals at the end of it and not get distracted by an easy exit that does not lead you to your main purpose. As the year passed, the company grew. It got to the point where we had more than 100 stores. However, as it always occurs, there was a problem. Brazil's economy got into a depression and consumer spending decreased, as the real, my country's currency, lost its value in relation to US dollar. My grandfather decided to sell a part of the firm in a desperate action to save it. That happened when I turned 15. The thought of losing the company that gave everything I needed and more to sustain myself terrified me. I began to think of what I could do to help it. The only thing I knew for sure is that I had to do something. That is when I decided to come to the United States to study. I felt like if I studied more than any of my ancestors did, because I didn't have the opportunity to do so, I would acquire the abilities to correct their mistakes and model our market to be successful economically, but also to inspire the one who worked there, just like my grandfather did to me. At the end of the day, Lojas Avenida, my family's corporation, had to sell 25% to survive until this day. I thank my dad for his choice. It was the only option, but I know it was a very difficult one, and maybe if he had chosen not to do it, I wouldn't be where I am today. I consider myself to be a blessed person. I was born into a good family who were able to provide what I need to survive. And now I acknowledge that I have to give this back to them. And that is my purpose. I'm on the highway of my life through high school and college, not getting distracted or detoured, always moving toward becoming the successful woman I want to be. I know what is the end of my highway, me becoming Julia Caseli, CEO of Lojas Avenidas.